What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and today I'm going to be touching on several things, but one of the big things is going to be cluster jewels. We just had a major update on cluster jewels, something that a lot of people might not know about. You'll see the difference in these two jewels. You know, right here you see in the bottom. This used to be a suffix. You have the two added skills are jewel sockets. But yet you look at this one, and in the implicit, it says two added passive skills are jewel sockets. So the thing that they did is they changed it so that we now have two prefixes, two suffixes, and the passive skills are jewel sockets is now an implicit modifier. This is a major buff. You can think of this as like 25% buff, just flat out buff to cluster jewels. The reason why is because now that no longer takes up one of the slots, one of the four slots on the jewel. It now it is just something that's inherent on jewels. The thing is, if you have old jewels, like I have an example right here, you can
Learning
turn it
anything new,
into one of
exile?
these. And you know,
Good luck with your
this is
met.
something I'm going to show you also. If I were to have other stats on here, we'll go ahead and put an extra stat on here, just to show
Need a
you
map?
so that you're not worried about ruining your old ones. I can just simply take and put it in here. And actually, oh, all right, well, it shows past it. You can see that it's keeping the stuff that was on it. The only thing that it is doing is it's taking this passive skills or jewel sockets and putting it into the implicit. It has to have the passive skills or jewel sockets in order to do this, but I'm just going to go and trade
Good
that
luck
in.
with your met.
And now it has an implicit, and now if I wanted to, I could take and roll this to whatever it is that I wanted, and I could, do all this good stuff. And then, I could regal it. If I wanted to add stuff to it in some other way, I could do that. So that's pretty simple. That was a quick touch. The next thing that I wanted to touch on is, we used to only be able to get implicits on our jewels through um, through corrupting them, and say you have like a good jewel like this one here, and you want to make it a little bit better, but you don't want to throw a vol orb on it and wind up ruining it. We have this sweet mod in here. uh, Actually, I believe it's on the other one. I had to hit a few of them to find one for a jewel. um Crimson Viridian. Oh, all right, wait, I grabbed the wrong type. Let's go ahead and go back to the box. 79. We use this 83. Okay, so I believe there was a murder's eye. So there's different ones for each jewel. I obviously wasn't paying a good enough attention, but what this is going to do is it's going to give it an implicit modifier. Bam. Reduced effective chill is now on here. That is now permanently on here. If I then want to craft this jewel afterwards because I get a good implicit modifier on there, that is something that I can do, and that is not going to be changed. I can come in here and, assuming that was something that I wanted, and maybe this jewel, I'm like, I don't really want anything that's on this jewel. I can go ahead and clear that, and then I can go right into my crafting. Say I spam this for a while, and wind up getting two things that I really want on here. Um, Unholy Might, and say I'm lightning damage build, and then I do this, and then that's basically another thing that you can pay attention to. That's from a tier 2 seed to help you guys out. One second. Where is it? Okay, so let me bring this up. So this is a really nice little cheat sheet to help you guys out. I think I've shown this in one of my other videos. But if you kind of want just a direction for these things, there's this nice little cheat sheet which is just simply listed as cheat sheet for harvest crafting on Reddit. This is a nice little reference to help you out. I mean, I'm sure if you do a lot of this, you'll start to memorize the stuff that's on there. But this is a good little thing that you can look over if you're trying to really focus on certain things. You know, like in these tier twos, we have some really good things. I don't really care about this fragment exchange. I kind of use those just to buff up, you know, to get my horde crafting stations. The divination card exchange, I mean it's kind of it's kind of you know that's a big shot in the dark to wind up with something that's actually good. But you know, critical modifiers, that's something good. You know, in the tier twos, there's a few good things. This flask mod enchantment, it's something that goes away. You know, that's not as big of a deal for me. You know, there's some stuff in here that's not that big of a deal. There's some stuff though that's really good. So knowing what's good and what's not good can really help you to prevent throwing on a bunch of the higher tier seeds and winding up in a situation where you have a ton of good mods that you want, and you know you don't have enough life force to craft them, or you're in a situation where you really want to add some horde crafting stations because you're not using up all of the mods that you're getting. Like maybe for instance right now, like I'm playing a lightning, the archmage character, lightning caster, energy shield, and I plan on playing a physical based, life based character in the future. So I don't really want to be focusing a lot of my time right now on crafting that stuff, but I would like to be able to have the availability of my really rare mods in the future. So stacking up those horde crafting stations is going to make it so that I'm going to have the power to create a lot of really good gear when I decide to move into that other type of character. And then I don't have to wait to try and find those mods. So planning this type of stuff out is kind of a big deal. It's good to know about you know the good things that exist and how to use these mods, which I'll do more in depth, like specific craftings and stuff like that, and show you guys how powerful some of these mods are. I've done this on the tier 1 seeds, but we'll break into the higher tier stuff. um, there's a few things you want to pay attention to. I just did a video on upgrading the Harbinger maps because I thought that was really cool. That was something I did a lot of group play with last league, and this league we also have Nemesis on the the Xana modifiers, which makes the ancient orbs really valuable. So that's a really cool thing. Um, so that's something to pay attention to. I'll bring your guys' attention to all of this stuff. It just takes me time to cover it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.